open. Stand by ME2B with E2. Out to them.
We have live team coverage of the
All right, stand by to
ongoing
bring
ice
in
storm
Mark.
in
Stand by camera
Kentucky
1.
tonight. That's causing a lot of closures, which are scrolling at the bottom of your screen right now.
WDRB has crews in Elizabethtown, Bardstown, Louisville, and Southern Indiana. And
Bring in Mark.
Our coverage tonight with our chief meteorologist, Mark Weinberg, as this freezing rain is not going away anytime
Stand by 1 with his name.
It really
And-
isn't. You know, I did the math. I've got
and
about 4
Take.
hours.
Stand by weather graphics.
Freezing temperatures in the next
All right, usually guys are coming up next after Mark's weather.
168 hours.
Okay.
That's not good. So we continue here with a winter weather
Dissolve.
advisory for the northern
Camera 1, go to
Baltimore
corner
area.
3D.
This includes Du
Chad,
Bois
set up
County
corner
over
3D
Jefferson
with
County,
ME3B
Indiana, then
as your
crosses the
background.
river for Trimble and Carroll County.
Camera
We've got a
1,
winter
please don't
storm warning that
show
goes from
anything
Perry,
outside of that corner.
Crawford, Harrison, Floyd, Clark County, and Indiana.
Camera
That
2,
crosses the river
straight
in
up.
Jefferson County, which
Chad,
includes Louisville,
set up a
Oldham,
single
Shelby, and
double on
Henry. I've been asked,
ME2A.
why did the National Weather Service choose winter storm warning in this area versus ice storm warning? It was an insightful move, to be honest, and they felt, and I would agree, that sleet
the
was
weather,
gonna be
snow
a big
weather.
problem in these areas as well. And so I think that's a better way to communicate.
Camera
It's not just
2 on the
freezing
left,
rain,
live
but it's
view 4 on the
freezing rain and
right.
sleet. And then the southern part of our area would be
Move
more
that
ice,
to the
and
B
that's why
side.
the ice storm warning goes from Breckenridge, Meade, Bullitt,
On the A
through
side, you can
Spencer
set up a
County. This
double
goes
double.
through the afternoon tomorrow. Now, the good
Live
news
view
in Louisville,
4,
in the northern
live view
side of
1.
Louisville, there's been a lot of sleet.
About 1 minute
I'll
till
come
you're
back to why that's good. Now,
And a reminder,
Campbellsville's
you guys
temperature
are
is below
flossing
freezing, so
to
while
Chad.
the radar
Stand by.
shows this is rain, I believe it's falling
Chad, on
freezing rain.
ME2,
We've
or
got
I mean
really heavy
ME3A,
freezing rain
can you
right
move
now
to where that
along
E-town is
Western
just
Kentucky
over?
Parkway
There you
near
go. There you go,
Forest
too.
Branch.
Yeah, do that.
Elizabethtown, freezing rain ongoing in Irvington. That
All right,
goes
stand
through
by 1.
Hodgenville. Absolutely moderate and heavy freezing rain right now going through Bardstown. Shepherdsville's really been hit hard. Notice Taylorsville, a lot of ice occurring right now. That goes through Shelbyville.
Yes.
And in Louisville, downtown, we're all sleet, but we're still getting reports that we're seeing mixes.
Have you
around
heard the
county
phoner,
right now.
Mason?
There's going to be a pause in Louisville, and you can see that, but I really want you to focus on what's going on
Stand
in
by
Evansville
1.
because that will
And
get into our area. So I don't think it's show over yet.
Dissolve.
Temperature-wise, are we
All right,
below
stand by
freezing?
2.
About 2.5
Yeah.
minutes. 2.5
So we're
minutes.
sitting at 28 degrees with a north wind at 15 miles an hour. That breeze out there is a problem, my friend, because think about this. If you have ice on power lines, those power lines start swinging.
about
When they start swinging,
4 or
they
5
start to
minutes.
arc. You'll notice advanced track at 11.
Camera 2
showing
is
a
next,
pause.
going to live view
But see
4.
here in Louisville how it starts to push back towards the north as we go towards 1:30, and then you can see around 3 it starts to edge back off to the south again. So I think that the peak is still going to occur south of the river. I think Elizabethtown, I think Campbellsville, I think Mudfordville, you're going to see the heaviest as we go through the overnight for the rest of the overnight hours. And your probability here, you're going to see starts to come down. I'm going to keep a 60% chance of the sleet and freezing
Stand
rain
by.
through around 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. I'll pull it back to 40%.
Stand by
We
2.
obviously need to talk
Go ahead and flip prompter.
totals. Who sees the most ice in 10 minutes?
Take.
Thanks, Mark.
Stand by
Check back to you
ME2B.
soon. Let's head south now to Elizabethtown,
And
getting hit by this ice storm
take.
tonight. WDRB's Grace Haba and meteorologist Hannah Strong.
Stand by live view
have been
4
tracking
with-
conditions all day. We're going to start with Hannah.
Take.
Thanks, Gil. So we're here
All right.
in E-Town, right off I-65, and Mark just said it, that overnight, we're going to
Chad,
see more
ME2A,
ice
go to
The
B.
ice conditions are going to get worse overnight for our area, for E-Town, Mumfordville, Campbellsville, Litchfield, these areas.
Now you can set up the
So right
3
now we are
box
seeing
on
freezing rain still
ME2A.
falling. In fact, this is
That'll be
some of the
E4 on the
heaviest rain
bottom,
we've seen so
camera
far this
3 up
evening. It's
top.
light most of the afternoon, and the ice is starting to build up. So we're going to take you over here to the WDRB News vehicle.
No,
which is
we
fully
can't do
iced
that.
over. If you watch this at
Stand
5
by.
and 6, I talked to
It
you
should have
about
done
the
that
ways
before
you
the
can
show.
de-ice your car in the morning. It will be frozen over.
All right, stand by A, full.
1 part water, 2 parts rubbing alcohol or
On
isopropyl
ME3A,
alcohol. You can just
that
pour
needs to
this
go
or
from
squirt it over the ice,
laptop
and you see how
2
it starts to help melt the ice
to
off
B.
Your car windows, your mirrors,
We don't-
your windshield,
Mason's not sure if he
all
has
of
the
it. This is
phoner.
a great tip for the morning when your door handle will be frozen. When your windows
He hears
need to
what's
be
on
scraped.
program.
Now, it's not just the cars that are starting to deteriorate, the conditions at least. WDRB's Grace Haba is here with me. She's been watching the interstate conditions. Grace, what are you seeing in terms of traveling the interstate this evening?
Absolutely. You can probably see some of the cars right
Yeah, 'cause he
behind
flipped
me.
it. He
This is
flipped it.
I-65 just by the Elizabethtown exit. There's still
All right, stand by to number 1 to A.
Truck coming through. It's moving at a very high rate of speed, but you see that moisture on the roadway kicking up. And actually what we've noticed recently
B.
is less semi-trucks on the, or more
And then
semi-trucks
ME3A in the
roadway
big
and less
on ME2A.
You can see this one parked
Fallon needs to give us the outages. Do you have the
See those
outages?
icicles forming. Now those were not there just a
Or
few
Gil,
hours
I'm
ago,
sorry.
so this is all happening
Yeah, we got
very
Gil.
quickly.
We got
Take
Gil
a look
doing
at
it.
this curve
Just
where
making
I'm
sure.
standing.
another spot of ice. I'm in my snow boots, and you can see how quickly this has gotten slippery. And this car is not alone. We've seen a lot of passengers pull off the roadway. A gentleman actually gave us these pictures of his truck, the pickup truck. You can see he was traveling from Cincinnati down to
Roll A effect.
He thought he could do it in one stop, but he said, no, I've got to get off the roadway. It's not safe.
Stand by live view
anymore."
4.
And he is not alone. Now, Hannah mentioned we have many more tips
And
for you on how to
dissolve.
keep your travel safe.
Stand by
tomorrow
ME2B.
morning. See our car very much iced up, so we're going to have some more tips on you on how to get out safely in the morning. That's all coming up in the next half hour here on WDRB News. For now, reporting live.
Take.
I'm Grace Haba here in E-Town, and we're going to send it
Stand by
over
live
to
view
Chad
1
over
with
in Bardstown with a look at what you're seeing there, Chad.
take live view 1.
Well, more freezing rain.
All right,
here
stand
in
by
downtown
camera
Bardstown
3.
At the old courthouse. This is the ramp up to the courthouse. You can see these icicles have formed in the past, I would say, hour and a half or so. And if you walk over here, take a look at this bush. It wasn't when we were here when the sun was still
So you're
out.
not sure if
Wasn't
you have it
frozen
right.
Like this. Now listen to this.
I thought you said you knew. Yes, he has
Quite a
it
bit of
flipped.
ice on this bush. Some of the other trees.
now it's
But
on
the
air.
story
She should-
here in
she should
Bardstown.
I thought you said you
and
knew
not just from
what to do.
We're seeing, but what from what we're hearing from officials as well is how well.
Okay,
things
well
are
then-
going,
then we're
at
probably
least for
fine.
Now we walk over here.
Just
and you
would
see
like to hear a little more
the
confidence
road
then.
there. Not even any slick spots right here because there are none. Just liquid. And this roundabout does get a lot of traffic, but that's similar to other roads in Nelson County as well. In fact, just got off the phone with the EMA director a couple minutes ago. He says, again,
All right, well,
things are
camera
going
3
well,
is
knock
next.
on
Give me
wood.
just
We hope
Natasha
that will
and the.
continue to be the case.
Yep.
He says they haven't really had to battle any
All right, Chad on
tree lanes down at
ME3B.
this point.
Put camera 2 on
And
the
as for
left.
the roads,
Live view
they
6 on
feel
the
like
right.
The ground temperature
We
is
might be
really
running into a
working
problem
in their
with,
favor. Yes, the
interview
air
we have
may
coming
be
up
at a
before
freezing
you, so
temperature, but
I will need you
the
guys to
ground
stand
here
by
might
about
be a
30
few
seconds
degrees
till-
warmer.
Live view 6 on the right on
That's why we
ME2B.
don't have ice right here in this crosswalk. And
All right,
when you
stand by
talk about
camera
power
3.
Outages, there haven't been many to speak of. There's a power line right in that direction. It's dark, a little bit far away, but as we look over to it, we certainly don't see any big icicles. It's not drooping or anything like that. Seems to be in pretty good shape right now. Of course, the worry is what could happen overnight if the freezing rain continues. If maybe the ground temperature does go down a degree or two, things could start to turn from liquid on the road to ice on the road.
Stand by 3.
KYPC, District 4 also monitoring conditions. We'll have an update from them at 10:30. Guys.
Take.
Chad, thank
Stand by
you. And all that
E4.
freezing rain can do a number on power lines or frozen trees falling on power lines. Right now,
And
there are about 9,400 customers without power. LG&E spokesperson Natasha
Bring up
Collins
phoner.
joins us now. Natasha, thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
And
Happy to be with you.
Thank you. And the big question
give me
here,
the
if
3
you
box.
are
Give me the
someone
3 box.
without
Stand by
power,
ME2A
we want
with
to
all
know
3.
when it'll get turned
And
back on. What's that process? and
actually,
how long
sorry, give me
might
just
that
Natasha.
take with this storm?
And
well, I think
dissolve.
the important thing to note, just as all of your coverage has shown so far, is that we're in the middle of this weather event. So we are seeing these sleety, icy, wintry conditions come down across
Stand
our
by
service
laptop 2
territory,
full.
and that's expected to continue just as the
With
forecast
a
is
speaking
showing.
super.
So while our crews are certainly
Dissolve.
out and they are doing their work to make sure that they are
We don't have
restoring
Natasha speaking
power
anymore.
that we're seeing impacted.
All right. Stand by to
We
give me all
also
3,
know that
Chad.
Crews are working in these challenging conditions.
And
So they are working as safely as possible, which is the most important thing.
Stand by
and
to
certainly
dissolve.
they'll be working as quickly as possible. But as you mentioned, we're seeing around just over on our outage map, just over 9,400 customers
Dissolve.
impacted across our entire service territories. We've seen about 62 wires down, and I'm sure that these numbers are numbers that
Stand by to
continue
bring in
fluctuate.
B
But the bulk
on
of what
ME3A.
we've seen is in the LG&E service territory around the Middletown area, the J-Town area, Fisherville. So these are some of the areas that we're seeing the most impact in thus far.
And safety is
65?
always
And
key
roll
here.
B,
If
dissolve.
An outage takes multiple days to fix. What's your advice for people?
Stand by to bring
who
it. Stand by
don't
to
have
just give me
power?
Natasha. And
Again, certainly
Just
our
give me
crews
Natasha.
are always working as quickly as possible to make sure that everybody can stay comfortable and can have their service, but they have to be safe as well. For those who end up in a situation where service may be impacted, certainly we appreciate their patience, but again,
How much of this
safety
video
is
do I have?
a top priority, not just for our crews, but
Okay.
also for our customers and the general public. So if somebody happens
Still
to
might
be
have bring
out
in all
and they
three.
see a power line down, we always remind them not to touch that, to stay away from it, consider it dangerous, and to contact us to notify
Is this
us
the
of
last
location.
question?
And then
How many more
certainly,
questions?
have
This is the last
tried to
question?
remind folks, thanks to the
Stand
good
by
work that all
three.
of you are doing to make sure that you're as prepared
Stand by
as
all three, I'm
possible
sorry.
in terms of having an emergency
And then
kit
stand
for
by
everybody
two.
in your family, having things in that like flashlights, any kind of over-the-counter or prescription medications you may need.
Keep me honest on the video.
Layering up, of course, when you're at home, having battery-powered radio and batteries, and make sure you charge up your devices. And certainly, just as you have been doing, our online outage.
How much
map
video?
and online resources
30.
are great to have handy. Just
Stand
so
by all
you have a
three.
weather radar, as you saw, that kind of tracks the system as it goes across, and it shows you how it's impacting the system.
Prompter, go to next story.
You can also report your outage online. So we just appreciate patience.
15.
Because we are
Bring in the
doing
outage
best
map.
we can to make sure that everybody
Stand by all
gets their
three.
service back.
All three.
Great advice there too.
Stand by two
Natasha
on
Collins
Gill.
with
ME2B in the
LGN. Thank
returns.
you so much for being with us tonight.
And take two.
Extra Metro
Stand by
Snow Team
ME2B.
crews are in downtown Louisville tonight to treat the roadways as sleet hits the city streets.
Take.
WDRB's Kristen Shanahan.
Stand by Live
joins us
U6
to show us
with-
what conditions are like in Louisville. Kristen?
And take. All right, Chad on
Yeah,
ME2A, set
we're
up
here
a
at
step
Jefferson
box.
Square Park, and
Live
this
U6 on the
moisture is
left,
still
X on the
coming
right.
down, and it is so icy here.
Stand by
Take a look
ME2A.
at this tree for a second. Look at it, see it covered in ice. From the very top of the tree down here to the ground, it is slick. If you come
Under.
up here and follow my feet, you're going to have to ignore my boots. I'm recovering from a broken toe, but you can just see here how slick it is. So slick. Now, as for the roads, you're taking a look here at West Jefferson Street.
Alright, we're
It is
taking your shot
covered.
out, isn't it?
You can't even make out the lanes. And we're told because of what you see here, the city is going to be sending more
Roll X
crews
dissolve.
down here to treat these roads. And they're going to also be laying
Stand
down
by A.
additional salt.
Sound.
And along with
Stand by number one
that,
to A. Sound.
a mixture that will actually help the salt really do its job as the temperatures continue to drop. But you can see why downtown will be a priority.
And roll A effect.
We have to make sure that those
All right, stand by
main
Live
roadways
U6,
are
full.
open and navigable for emergency services to be able to provide their services and make sure that
5
their
seconds.
response times, whether it's EMS,
S&D
police, fire,
utility 3.
those times are not as effective.
Stand by to live tween. Live tween.
Again, non-essential travel is not recommended.
Stand by 2 on Gill.
If you do have to get out in this, if it's absolutely necessary, you are encouraged to take it
Is S&D
really
correct?
slow and give yourself plenty of time to get to your destination.
No.
Reporting from a very icy downtown Louisville, Kristen Shanahan, WDRB News.
Take.
You be careful.
Stand by
out
Live
there.
U5
Stand onto that light post
with the
behind
banner.
you. Turning now to southern Indiana,
Stand by the
certainly
live
getting
tween
hit by this storm as well.
and live
Give you a
tween.
live look here from
Stand by
I-65
S&D,
now Jeffersonville.
clean.
You see
Stand by to number
traffic
1.
slow going.
Mason will have
City roads are
E4
covered and slick.
morning show
That
tees.
tells us there are about 100 trucks out all across.
What are we doing
southeast
for the weather bump
Indiana.
tees?
Plow drivers will likely be out treating and clearing the roads through at least
Live
tomorrow
U1. Do you have a locator
afternoon.
for that?
There will be a shift change.
Stand by to dissolve.
At midnight.
Dissolve.
Those driving conditions.
All right, stand by
prompted
3.
Some counties to issue a travel watch. Look at this map. There's a travel watch in the orange counties. It means only essential travel should happen, like driving to and from work or driving for an emergency. Counties in
Stand by
yellow
3.
are travel advisory counties, and that means you should just use
Are we getting a
extra
live
caution
locator?
while out on the
Take 3. Stand
And
by
you can wake up early
E4.
with
Stand by to flash.
WDRB for continued winter storm
And
coverage.
flash.
WDRB in the morning.
Stand by
starts
Live
an hour
U1
early
with
at
the live
4
bug,
a.m.
Brendan.
We'll have all your school closings.
Stand by to
and
live
delays.
tween.
Mike
Tease
and
is
our
next.
crews
Gil
will
reads
have
over it.
Eyes on the roads while Jude updates you on the latest winter weather starting at 4 a.m.
And live
Guys, we
tween.
had to break here and take a live look from
Stand by to fade to
Bardstown,
black.
Kentucky.
Stand by your
It is
brake
a
master.
Dark night in the town square. The roads are slick, the roads are wet, and there, at least, all is calm. This weather story is still developing as we head into the night. We'll be back with more WDRB news at 10.
And fade to black. Roll your brake.
Sorry, you can clear it. Look good.
Good job, guys.